Hey gamers, what's up? And today we're going to be talking about why you should skip Luocha, why you should just skip the banner altogether and maybe wait for Kafka and Baldi or Blade, whatever his name is, or maybe you should wait for future characters to come off. Fushuan. Yeah, so we're just really going to talk about all the reasons now why you should skip Luocha. And a couple days from now, guys, we'll have a video basically why you should summon for Luocha and summon on its banner. So yeah, if you want to watch that video, guys, make sure you subscribe to the channel. We also do a lot of team guides and stuff on the channel as well. So yeah, guys, let's go ahead and hop right into it, starting off with the main man himself, Luocha. And yeah, we'll talk about why you might just want to skip him. Alright, guys, so Luocha here, basically what he's going to be doing, guys, is on his skill, he's going to be immediately restoring a target ally's HP, meaning he targets one ally and restores their HP. This is also going to give him one stack of Abyss Flower, which this goes into his talent, which we'll talk about in a little bit. Also, he has a couple traces and stuff which help him out when an ally drops below 50% HP. Basically, he will be using his skill, quote unquote, without using a skill point immediately, and it basically heals that ally. You can trigger that every 2 turns. Alright, guys, so hopping into his ultimate's going to be removing one buff from all enemies and attack them all as well. This also gains him one stack of Abyss Flower. And then finally, let's talk about his talent. Whenever the Abyss Flower stacks reach 2, he's going to consume all of the Abyss Flower stacks and deploy a field against the enemy. When the enemy is hit with the field, basically it's going to heal all allies whenever they attack an enemy. So basically it's like a lifesteal mechanic, you could say. Whenever any of your allies attack an enemy, he will be getting HP back. Alright, so starting off with some of the reasons just for Luocha himself, why you might not want to summon for him, guys, is he is an abundance character. He is a healer. Now, he does deal damage, and I think he has great utility, but he is a healer. So if you do have Bailu, if you do have Natasha, and you have 2 healers, you don't necessarily need this character, especially if you're lacking in the damage department, and also if you're lacking in that support slash debuff department. I mean, if you have 2 healers already, if you have good DPS already, then why do you need to add another healer to that list when you could just go ahead and spend your gems now for Silverwolf to have a great ability and great kit for Silverwolf? She's one of the best 5 stars in the game, and she provides great utility for just about any team you fit her into. She's just really cracked and really good. So I mean, if you already have 2 healers and you're not going to summon for Kafka, then might as well go for Silverwolf, right? And yeah, I mean, that's really the main reason why you should just skip Luocha himself, is, I mean, he is a healer at the end of the day. He is healing your team. If you already have 2 healers, you can really only use 2 healers in the hardest content in the game, which is Memory of Chaos. You use a healer for both sides. So I mean, and even in some cases, you don't use a support for both sides. You can use just a solo tank. So why do you need to add another healer to that list? It's really just up to you if you need an extra healer or not. If you didn't pull for Bailu, then maybe this is a good solution. But I mean, honestly, I mean, he's just another healer at the end of the day. But those are kind of my reasonings why you should skip Luocha himself. Let's take a look at the characters on the banner here, guys, and maybe talk about why you should skip them. So as far as the characters on his banner goes, guys, is going to be QQ, Pela, and the new Harmony character, Yukon. You know, Ting Yun's fluffy sister-in-law, whatever you want to call her. So let's go ahead and talk about the characters that are already in the game first, that being QQ and Pela. Then we'll talk about Yukon and her utilities. So first, guys, QQ is honestly probably the worst one on this banner, just because she is so chance-based. I know with her Eidolons, it makes her chances a little bit higher, but at the end of the day, it's still a chance-based character. If you look at her skill here, guys, she's going to be drawing Jade Tiles and increasing damage depending on how many Jade Tiles you get. Every time you draw a Jade Tile, is going to be consuming a skill point, and basically you want to be having 4 Jade Tiles all of the same suite to be dealing the absolute massive amount of damage. Her ultimate will basically give her all these Jade Tiles of the same suit and attack all enemies. And then her talent, guys, this is where her main thing starts at here. When an ally starts a turn, QQ randomly draws 1 tile from 3 different suits and can hold it with 4 tiles at one time. If QQ starts her turn with 4 tiles of the same suit, she consumes all tiles to enter the hidden hand state. When in the state, QQ cannot use her skill again. At the same time, QQ's attack is increased by 36%, and her basic attack flower pick is enhanced to Cherry on Top. The hidden hand state ends after using Cherry on Top. Basically, you just do a really big attack with your normal attack if you immediately start out with all of these same suits as soon as your turn starts. So yeah, this is a very chance-based character. She's an Erudition Quantum character, which is not bad to have just for the typing of Quantum. But yeah, I mean, overall, yeah, she is very chance-based. You need a lot of Eidolons to make her work really good. or to even make her work well in general. So yeah, it's kind of hard to recommend pulling when she's on the banner. But you might say, but there's Pela and also Yukon on the banner. So let's just go ahead and talk about Pela and Yukon, which we know QQ wasn't going to be the best anyways. We're pulling for Pela and Yukon, right? I am not going to lie to you guys and tell you that Pela is bad. Pela is cracked, and Pela is pretty busted, guys. Pela does a lot. Pela, with her skill, removes a buff from an enemy, which is just really, really huge. On top of this, her ultimate is going to be attacking all enemies and also exposes them all, which, if you don't know what exposing does, is it basically reduces their defense by 30% for 2 turns. So yeah, really, really, really strong, guys. The ability to remove a buff is really strong. She freezes enemies as well, and also if she attacks while the enemy's debuffed, she's going to be regaining her own energy back. Her Eidolons kind of go crazy with it too, guys. If you look down here, when an enemy is defeated, she gets 5 energy. When using a skill, she increases speed. Whenever she uses a skill, she reduces the target enemy's ice resistance by a certain percentage, and then whenever she attacks a debuffed enemy, she gives additional ice damage on top of this. I mean, Pela, guys, is really, really good. Really, really quacked. What? Quacked? Anyways, yeah, she's really, really good. She's pretty cracked as well, and very hard to say to not summon for her. Only thing I can really say about this, guys, is I wouldn't recommend chasing a 4-star unit if this is the only character you want within the banner, because I wanted Asta on Silverwolf's banner, and that went so well. We have E8 Don Hung now, and I got 2 copies of Asta in over 100 pulls, guys. Okay, it's down bad. Don't go chasing for 4 stars in the banner. It is very copium, very down bad. It sucks really bad, actually. And then finally, Yukon, guys. Let's talk about her, the imaginary harmony character. So, guys, basically what her skill is going to be doing is she's going to be gaining 2 stacks of Roaring Bowstring whenever she uses her skill. Whenever Roaring Bowstring is active, all allies will be gaining an attack buff of 40%. And every time an ally turns in, you lose 1 stack of this. If you use her ultimate while Roaring Bowstrings is active, her ultimate is going to be increasing all allies' crit rate and crit damage by a huge amount. On top of this, she's going to be doing imaginary damage to the enemies, which there are not very many imaginary type units in the game right now, and her being a 4-star is absolutely great. You also have Luocha, which is imaginary as well, but like I said, he's a healer that can do some damage as well. And then finally, guys, her talent is basically whenever she attacks an enemy, she increases the toughness reducing damage of the attack by a certain percentage. This can be triggered every other turn, which I mean, so if they're weak to imaginary, you're going to be reducing that toughness just that much faster with her. The reason why you wouldn't want to summon for her, guys, if you're a free-to-play player, is because we get her for free in 1.2, so you don't necessarily need her right now. You can wait for 1.2 and get her absolutely for free. So this is one of the reasons why I should say not to summon on the banner, guys, because first of all, QQ is not really that good unless you have a lot of Eidolons of her. Pela is really, really good. Yukon you get for free in the next update, and Luocha is a healer, so if you already have 2 healers, you really don't need Luocha. So overall, like, value for the banner for free-to-play players is not really there. I mean, if you already have Bailu on your team and you get Yukon and QQ for free, I mean, pulling extra QQs is alright, but I mean, overall, like, your value is not really there. You're not getting really many characters that you don't or wouldn't have already. Of course, getting Eidolons for these characters is always great, but the chance that you might get a QQ Eidolon is kind of down bad. Pela would be great for an Eidolon. Luocha does do pretty decent damage. The overall value of this banner, I really don't think is there, especially if you have Pela with a couple of Eidolons already. You get Yukon for free, and then QQ is just kind of eh. So, kind of to wrap everything up, guys, on why you should skip Luocha. So, if you already have 2 healers, you already have Pela, you already have QQ, and you get Yukon for free, and you're free to play, I don't think this is a must-summon banner for you guys. Just, you might as well save it for Kafka or Baldi and wait for new characters to come to the game or something with better value for your account. Like I said, you do not need a healer on your account if you already have 2 healers. Now, at the end of the day, guys, you pull for who you want to pull for. You don't have to listen to a copium YouTuber like me and my dumbass takes and opinions. You do what you want at the end of the day, because, I'm being honest with you, I have Bailu, I have Natasha, and I'm still pulling for Luocha because I really like Luocha. So, guys, these are just my thoughts and opinions playing kind of devil advocate against this banner. So yeah, guys, that's really gonna do it for today's video. Like I said, subscribe to the channel because in a couple days I'll be releasing a video on why you should summon for Luocha and all the reasons there. So kind of playing both sides of the table here. So yeah, anyways, that's gonna do it for today's video. Make sure you leave your thoughts in the comments below, whether that be L plus ratio plus you're being a Genshitter or not. So I will make sure I call you out on that if you are. So yeah, anyways, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments below for real, and I'll see you in the next one later. Bye bye.